At it again. We've got to talk about Chirac, aka Chicago. Okay, because there's some more issues going on. I know, shocker, right? Shocker. We talked about Chicago quite a few times. Even back when the last mayor, what was it? Lori Lightfoot, aka. Never mind. I'm gonna be nice. I would be nice. She had a nickname that, everyone used to call her, but I'm going to be respectful today. Okay? Although she did give us a lot of content. And apparently the new mayor of Chicago is going to give us a lot of content because everyone's upset in Chicago, especially the black people of Chicago. It seems like the only people that aren't upset in Chicago are the illegals, because Mayor Brandon Johnson is giving them anything and everything that they could possibly want and need. So let's touch on this a little bit, because I think there's something here that is very, very noteworthy, and I'll get into that after a couple of these clips. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new, and let's dive in.
Developing tonight, Mayor Brandon Johnson speaking today about his plans for migrant funding.
He's planning to ask the city council for more money soon. WGN's Angelica Sanchez is live from the site of a church that will house migrants. Angelica.
That's right. St. Bartholomew behind me will soon be housing migrants. This as city leaders are anticipating more migrants will be arriving as the Democratic National Convention approaches.
As everyone in this room knows, we have a governor, the state of Texas, that is determined to create chaos.
While speaking at a public safety event, Mayor Brandon Johnson was asked about additional funding for Chicago's migrant crisis.
We anticipate that the governor of Texas will continue his tirade against this country.
WGN has confirmed the mayor now plans to ask City Council for $70 million in funding. The mayor anticipates an influx of new arrivals as the Democratic National Convention nears.
Part of my budget structure, we put together some reserves in the event of an expedited flow of more migrants.
Senator Dick Durbin is announcing aid is also coming to help states with new arrivals. In a Friday release, he says FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security are releasing the first installments of congressionally approved funds. He says nearly $20 million will be split equally between the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois.
First of all, they're human beings. They deserve to be treated with humanity, with care.
This week, Governor J.B. Pritzker clarified what the additional funding will be used for.
For those who complain about the expenditure that's being made, let's be clear. First, this is just basic needs that people are getting. Nobody's getting any fancy luxuries out of this. The people are arriving and just need a helping hand.
It's funny coming from Governor Pritzker. If you guys didn't know, the gentleman that you saw towards the end, this guy, he is the governor of Illinois, Governor J.B. Pritzker. He's worth billions. Yeah, you heard me correctly. With a B, big B, billions. I want to say he's worth like $4 billion, which is just... So to Governor Pritzker, if you care so much about these folks, which you claim to, you know what to do. You've got the money. Right? You can't tell me you don't. Now, granted, you don't have, he doesn't have $4 billion. Actually, let me look this up. Governor J.B. Pritzker net worth. Let's look this up really quickly. I was close. $3.5 billion. $3.5 billion. So $3.5 billion. So, of course, he doesn't have $3.5 billion in cash. Yeah, sure. That's just how net worth works. Typically a lot of people's worth is tied into different assets or businesses and things like that. So sure, he doesn't have $3.5 billion in cash. He's probably got a solid $300 million in cash. I would guess, you know, depending on, I don't know exactly how he got his net worth. I feel like I recognize the name Pritzker, but I'm not exactly sure how he acquired his net worth. Depending on how he did that, we'll make that cash number go up or down. But I'd be willing to guess he's got 300 million, right? So it wouldn't be a stretch to be like, hey, if you got 300, drop 250. You still got 50. If you can't live off $50 million, and I'm not talking about trading in, whatever, assets that you have that your net worth is really tight. I'm just saying cash, right? I'm just saying flat cash. You still got your assets that you're probably generating income from. I'm not saying that. Take 250 million cash and hey, why does this have to come out the taxpayers' pockets? Why not yours, Pritzker? You got all this money, right? And that's the funny thing. Like it's like as long as we don't have to deal with it, then it's okay, right? Because you just heard Mayor Johnson, forgot his name there for a second. I almost said Mayor Pritzker. Mayor Johnson blame Greg Abbott, who's the governor of Texas, for the problems that they're having in Chicago. And it's like, no, you're a sanctuary city. You said you wanted this. Now you got it. But it's a problem now that you actually have to deal with it, because what happened was you didn't think you were actually going to have to deal with it. As long as Greg Abbott dealt with it, oh yeah, we love immigrants, we love illegals. But now they're just sending them to you. Oh, Greg Abbott's a bad person. Stop it with the nonsense.
$1 billion so far for that. And here they are warning the mayor and city council about transferring another $70 million from the city's rainy day fund to take care of the migrants.
We need that money in my neighborhood. We need that on my block. So I'm asking y'all to use our tax money for our people. We need it.
You vote for the money for these immigrants today, and we coming for them seats. You can believe that.
The police are fighting with them in the shelters that you guys are funding. You guys think it's a great idea, but yet your police officers are getting attacked. Your public's getting attacked.
Currently, state law does not allow voters to recall Chicago's mayor, but after seeing how Mayor Johnson's first year has gone with the migrants and crime, a new group wants to change that by getting a referendum on the ballot this November that would pave the way to voting Johnson out.
We're not taking care of Chicago citizens first, and that's what it's all about. The fact of the matter is that we've never had this opportunity to recall before, and it's very apparent, based on the mayor's abilities right now, or lack of accountability, that this needs to be addressed.
Yeah, Mayor Johnson is dismissing this recall effort as a right-wing effort from folks living out in the suburbs. But Dan laughed at that, saying he's lived in Chicago for 33 years. He is an independent. And in the 24 hours since news came out about this effort, he said there's been an outpouring support from folks of all backgrounds looking to sign on.
MAGA supporters in the suburbs are the ones that are pushing this. Yeah, really. Looks like a bunch of black people that are the ones pushing it. And did you notice what kind of hat that lady was wearing? I know it's a little hard to see because this video isn't the highest of quality, which I apologize for. But take a look at that hat. Make America Great Again. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. And listen, and I'm going to touch on that a little bit more. But as you guys heard there is now an effort to recall Mayor Brandon Johnson and get him out of there. Now, there's some things that they have to go through because there currently isn't a way to recall a mayor in Chicago. As you just heard there, they're going to have to collect some signatures in order to get that on the ballot come November. And people will vote on whether or not they want to have the ability to recall a mayor, which I'm assuming everyone's going to vote yes. I don't see why anyone would ever vote no on a question like that, right? That just doesn't make sense. But hey, we live in a world that has or lacks common sense. So I don't know. But I doubt that one will happen. I do believe that most people will vote yes on that question. So after that happens, then it'll be a situation where they'll have to take another vote on whether or not they do want to recall Brandon Johnson. And I believe that is the way that it works in Chicago. Like, it'll happen in like 2026. So like their next election, right? The next scheduled election, right? So he'll have some time to destroy the city even further, which I'm sure he will have no issues doing. So I do believe come 2026, Brandon Johnson will be on his way out of there. On his way out of there. Check out this clip.
So Christmas is coming early this year. We're going to check that list when you go up on that wall for voting, and we're going to check it twice. And we're going to find out who's been naughty or nice based on how y'all vote. And we're going to start it off with Maria Hack. Yeah. All right. That would be Maria Hack. Stepping out there, I see you. Don't get sarcastic because we can get jiggy, right? You set up here for that first 51 million talking about how you feel about black people and how you have to have the same energy for black people. And you ain't never stood on this floor talking about money for black people. You get on this floor and talk about black and brown because you somewhere in the middle with it, right? But I'll tell you this, and I'm telling every other black alderman in here today, you vote for the money for these immigrants today, and we coming for them seats. You can believe that. You're going to stop pimping the black people's plight to get brown people, as y'all call it, money. You're going to give us our press conference up there on the 3rd floor, keep talking to the mayor's boy with the clink clink from his past. That's why he got to do what the mayor say do. Him and a lot of other ones in here with these shady pasts. That's why you got to vote the way that you vote. But all of us ain't got shady pasts. Some of us free out here. And we can vote how we want to vote. And we coming for those seats. Now, to align yourself with somebody who's obviously a one-term mayor, if he even makes it that far, you better be worried about your job. You better be worried about your longevity. Because we're going to vote, and we're going to get you out. Because you ain't doing right by us. That's what time it is. And for your law person that's next to you, I'm going to need you to check out that federal charge that I got against those public administrators over there for messing with black people's property. It's federal case number 23CB14590. All right? And on that note, if y'all don't give us our money for the black community, know this. We getting ready to file a federal injunction against City Hall for benign neglect to the south side and west side. You got that?
Hey, you go, lady. You go, lady. You tell them. Tell them. You know? Goodness gracious. Part of me feels really bad for the people of Chicago. You know? Part of me doesn't because you voted for this. But I'm sure that they didn't expect it to be quite this bad, right? Brandon Johnson he hadn't even been there for a year. Right? This is the first year, and it's just, I mean, F across the board. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But like I said, this also opens the opportunity for Republicans like Uncle Trump to garner some more support. Because if I remember correctly, most of Illinois is actually a red state. It's places like Chicago and a lot of these blue states, right? That swing states in the opposite direction. You know, most of the entire state is red. except for these big major cities. And if he can manage to garner enough support out of Chicago, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Could that swing Illinois red? I think it's a possibility. And from what we've been seeing over these past few months, over this past year, since Brandon Johnson has taken office, a lot of people are upset. People are out in the streets yelling, screaming at council meetings, yelling, screaming. Some of them wearing MAGA hats, right? So when you see stuff like that, I think as Republicans, we need to answer that call. Uncle Trump, the Don, needs to answer that call. Now, it's going to be difficult for him. Obviously, Democrats are trying to keep him in courtrooms and everything. So it may be up to us. It may be up to us to try to connect with these folks and get them on board, get them on the Trump train. It's a unique opportunity that, thanks to Biden and Democrats, has presented itself. I said I've said this in previous videos. Biden has done one thing good, his entire administration, and that one thing that he's done well is unite everyone against him and Democrats. And here's another case of it, because Brandon Johnson, of course, is following Democrats and Joe Biden and his administration's leadership on this whole immigration thing. Rarely do you see any Democrats try to break rank on this immigration issue. They all say and do all of the same things, which I'm a little jealous of, right? At times, I feel like Republicans should all be on one accord, all be in line with one another, the way that Democrats are sometimes, really all the time. But yeah, man, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is an opportunity that we need to answer the call on? Do you think it's worthless? Let me know. Obviously, like I said, I personally think it's definitely a worthwhile cause and a worthwhile thing it will be a worthwhile thing for Trump to have a rally in Chirac, right? Have a rally in Chirac. I think, especially considering everything that's going on right now, I think he'd do very well in Chirac. We just saw him in Harlem and that support, right? We saw him in Atlanta with the whole mugshot situation and everything like that. So I think he would do well it would serve him well to go to these places like Chicago and, have a rally, or Harlem, New York, have a rally, Atlanta, Georgia, have a rally. Maybe even a place like San Fran, have a rally. Places where you wouldn't typically see Republicans go because it's deep blue and, they voted blue at over a 90% clip. I think things are changing and shifting. And listen, maybe if he focuses on that, then that landslide, the likes of which we've never seen, maybe it actually becomes a reality. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Peace and love. I'm out.